So yes, these will be recorded. So if you do have to jump off early and miss one or two or three, no worries. I will make sure to email you the recording. You're in Naples, Sheila, very cloudy, but the storm should only bring rain. Good for you. That's a good place to be. So yes, this is being recorded. Every ISV that you see here, which are 8 in total, will have 15-minute demos. And I am your host, Amy Keenan. So I will be the one introing each ISV as they get started. And I will be sending out the email recording, hopefully by the end of day tomorrow, if not Friday, because I am going to break them up into each individual demos for each of the 8 ISVs. So that way they'll be broken out for you to watch each of them. Whichever ones you missed or whichever ones you want to watch again and so forth. So try to make it easy for you. If you do have any questions, like I said, this is going to be quick 15 minutes for each ISV, but you can certainly put your questions in the chat or the Q&A, and we can have those ISVs reach out to you either after they're done presenting and answer it in the Q&A and chat, or get back to you after this session. So welcome again to Acumatica Demo Day. So excited to have you here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that Sarah from Blue Moon Industries can take it away. Sarah, you ready?
Sounds good.
All right.
So welcome everybody. I'm Sarah from Blue Moon Industries, and today we're going to be looking at our product called ChargeBack processing for Acumatica. Just a bit about Blue Moon. We have been in the ERP, whether you call it ISV, integrator, implementer, whatever you want to call it, in that space for over 30 years. We manage a number of ERP systems, and with chargeback processing, a lot of customers who work with retailers, this is a mind of its own. A lot of people that work with retailers have the issue of adjustment processing. And so what we've added onto multiple ERPs is chargeback processing. So typically way back in the day, this would be things like Target, Walmart. Most of the customers I implement today are actually for Amazon. Amazon has its own kind of language and its own kind of way that it likes to do payments and apply adjustments. So what I want to do today is just jump into Acumatica to take a look at how we have enhanced Acumatica, provided a product so that we can help your customers to account for those adjustments. So hopefully what you're seeing now is an Acumatica screen. What I've done and what Blue Moon has provided is in your receivables module, the ability to create remittances. And so a lot of customers and a lot of people that work with large, either, we call them big box or Amazon or some of those other larger entities actually do their AR through pages and pages and pages or files and files of remittance information. So today I'm just going to show you the remittance functionality. This demo typically takes at least 45 minutes really to dig into each of the areas. But the best way to kind of sum up in the short time we have is to take a look at a remittance. So I've created a remittance out here already. And what this does is it replicates what a customer would do, an AR associate would do when they're entering a payment for a customer. So you can see I have my payment method of check. They're paying me $1,000. And now I want to go ahead and I want to apply in this $1,000 to invoices, as well as account for any adjustments that that retailer may have taken. So I'm just going to come in, add an invoice here. Load documents absolutely works. It's fully integrated with sub accounts, fully integrated with parent-child relationships. So, I have customers that use parent-child. I have some that don't. And so what we're going to do in here is, let's minimize this guy. 1,000. And I'm going to do another invoice. And so this one is going to be, we'll do the other one that's out here for another 1,000. So this customer is saying that with their $1,000 check, they're actually wanting to clear $2,000 worth of invoices. So typically in the history of ERPs, this would mean I would have to post my check, go back out, start creating credit memos for all the adjustments, apply those credit memos. Maybe if I have an adjustment that the retailer says they're taking, but I want to fight back, I might have to create a debit memo to keep that AR open on the customer's account. What this product does is it allows you to do it all in one step. So I've got $2,000 worth of invoices that the customer wants to apply, but only $1,000 check. I come into my adjustments tab, and this is where I can apply and add any adjustments that the retailer decides they're going to take. I have a list here. This is all done in setup. You can have as many adjustments as you want. The adjustment setup allows you to assign a GL account for the expense of that adjustment, so you can actually keep a much tighter track of where these adjustment expenses are coming from. And it also allows you to have default, whether you're going to allow it. Maybe you always get an adjustment from Amazon or from Target that you're always going to allow, you're never going to fight. So it will default when I enter my adjustment number. So the adjustment reference can be one right from the remittance, or it can be really anything that maybe if it's late shipments in July, I can put information there as well. And then this adjustment will say is going to be for $600. For some reason, they're taking a $600 adjustment. So I'm going to tab off of that, and I'm going to say, you know what, I'm not going to allow that because I want to check with my EDI team and see what the heck happened for $600 chargeback on these ASNs. So then there's another one in here. And so we're going to say that it was a late delivery. And so basically it's an overall July late shipments. Maybe there isn't an actual number associated there. And then this one's going to be my 400. As you can see, the box was already marked. That means I always allow those freight adjustments to come in. And then at this point, I can see when I come back into my documents to apply that my unapplied amount is now 0. My chargeback amount is the 1,000, and then I have my payment amount for 1,000. So I'm going to go ahead and release this. I do have reporting available in here, but for the sake of time, I'm going to release this. And so what this is going to do is it's actually going to post my payment for $1,000. It's going to post a credit memo for $400 on the allowed adjustment. And then it's going to post a $600 debit memo for the unallowed adjustment. And I can see that in multiple areas, but the best way to see it in kind of this demo environment is if I come back into my receivables, I look in my invoices and memos, and what we'll be able to see is for that customer, I've got my credit memo for my July late shipment for $400, and that's closed because it was automatically applied to those outstanding invoices. I've got my open debit memo for the $600. That's the one that I did not allow. That's the one I'm going to send to my EDI team to say, what the heck were you guys doing with these ASNs? And, you know, should we be fighting back? Should we be expecting payment on that? So all of that's done in the remittance module or the remittance processing screen, so that your AR people that are entering those adjustments, again, they're not coming in and out of the payment. They're not creating these credits and debits against those adjustments. It's all done for them. So at this point, I can go and I can take a look at the receivables. I'm going to go and just do a quick AR. I'm going to do a quick AR aging for that customer. So you know, I just finished an implementation with a customer that said, hey, you know, what we want to do is we want to just send this aging to our salespeople to go out and try and get that money from customers. So we'll run this report real quick. And you can see I have my debit memo for $600. On the AR, what we can do is have the description that is that adjustment reference can print right here. Typically, we have customers work with their Acumatica partner to do that because we like to keep that control and report design with the partner. But it's a recommendation I usually make so you can quickly see on your AR, why are these debits open? And you can quickly see, oh, you know, it was a chargeback for July late shipment, whatever it might be, or EDI. So within this, the customer thinks it paid off those invoices. My Acumatica shows it paid those invoices, but I'm still tracking that outstanding AR balance for that customer until we can either kind of throw our hands up and say, yep, we're going to accept it, at which point we would just create a credit memo normally to apply. Or if we get payment from the customer, we would have that payment to apply to our open debit. So it's from an aging perspective, it keeps those open invoices from aging. So typically, if you had a partial payment on an invoice and you're saying, okay, the customer thinks it paid this $1,000, but we only applied $600 to it, you're not going to have a listing of open invoices with balances without necessarily knowing why it's open. You'll actually have these debits here so that you can drill down to the detail, and the expenses are all going to be posted to whatever expense account you decide to enter and to set up on your adjustment types. So I'm just going to pull up the setup window real quick so you can see what your options are as far as creating that information and being able to put your chargeback account in here for that more detailed accounting of these expenses. So in a nutshell, in 7 minutes, that is the 45-minute demo. There's reporting, there's all kinds of other functionality within here as well, but that is the guts of it. So you can keep your AR very detailed, but still allow those. And again, I say Amazon because most customers, that's where there's some uniqueness, we'll say, with Amazon and how they like to pay or don't like to pay. And so being able to keep really tight track of the whys and kind of how those expenses are impacting the business. Phew. Any quick questions? I know I've got about 30 seconds left. Seriously, we do in-depth demos. We do requirements calls, just to investigate. Every customer that deals with adjustments is different. There is not a one and done. And so we, this is one of our first products that we've ever was in the market again about 30 years ago with other ERPs, because there really isn't a lot of functionality for this type of business process within out-of-the-box ERP systems.
Yes, and I don't know. I would never want to deal with chargebacks. That's for sure.
I know.
Chasing down people. Why are they not paying their
That's
invoices?
why most people give the AR aging with the information to their salespeople, or customer service people instead of AR.
Yeah, crazy. So yeah, if you do have any questions, again, you can put them in the Q&A or the chat, and we'll have Sarah get back to you either now or after. And